I think we're started.
What's happening?
That was terrible.
Sorry.
At least you didn't say hello, hello.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
This is
we
part
are.
of the problem.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
know,
just
right?
kidding.
We are back with another episode of What's Happening.
Unfortunately for you guys.
Yeah, sorry. My name is Shane.
And I'm Nico.
Yeah, you're Nico. And yeah, so first off, we wanted to kind of just give a quick shout out to everyone at Chillderburg. We went there this past weekend. Uh, yeah, so what did you think of the whole event? You know,
Well, I mean, driving there was pretty bad, but I'm not going to complain because there are people coming from like North Dakota,
right?
North Carolina, Pennsylvania, like
Hmm.
all over the place. So
Yeah, those people were
those are
crazy.
dedicated
Like
people.
literally driving in, and I mean I don't know how they decided they're gonna do it, but
I know.
you know,
That would, yeah. Nope. I don't like driving.
but I mean, props to them for coming, and we actually got to meet them and hang out with them for a little bit and talk and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess not the main reason, but the thing that we kind of participated in mainly was the wine van tour that they had.
Yep. We're drinking the rest of the wine that we got on that tour,
Yeah.
actually. This is our last day of drinking for a while, but we'll explain that later.
Yeah. And so basically they were doing some wine tastings, whatever. They're going to 3 wineries, but we just ended up going to 2 because I guess we kind of at that time there was not
Ran out
enough
of time.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny though, because as soon as we got there, um, people were like, "Oh, do you want a drink?" And I thought like, "Oh yeah, I need some water or something." And then I got handed some like sparkling beverage, which turned out to be alcoholic. And I was like, "What is wrong with me? I feel like I'm gonna like fall over or something." And then I realized that it had alcohol in it.
Oh, well, hey, you want a drink?
Yeah, because we
Sure.
hadn't drank or eaten anything for hours,
Hmm.
and then like drinking that without eating beforehand, it was just like I don't know. I thought I was like going dehydrated or
Yeah.
something.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how we knew that we were like really we can't take alcohol anywhere near as much as we used to
Nope.
was
I mean, that's a
because
good thing though,
yeah,
because we
that's
don't need
true.
to do that anymore.
Yeah.
We're not
Um
young kids anymore.
I know. No more partying. I mean, not that we ever partied anyway in the first place, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't
But
know. Just EDM clubs count as partying.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's rowdy and loud and
Mm.
really crazy in there. But yeah, so the main thing that we did there was like I was saying before, we're kind of going to these wineries, doing some tastings and all that.
And it wasn't a cult.
Yeah, it
Okay, it
wasn't a
was
cult. Kind of, maybe.
maybe.
I don't know.
It was funny because when everybody was all together at the end, like near the end of the night,
Hmm.
we're all sitting there in the dark talking about anarchy, and I'm like, this is like a cult.
Yeah, I had like a fire going on the side and
But the fire was so tiny that like most people were just sitting in the dark.
yeah.
So like nobody could see each other. Like half the people when we were like going around to say goodbye, I couldn't see who I was saying goodbye to.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
But did you happen to see any UFO shaped idols around there? No, I did not. Maybe when we were driving by, I don't know. How many people were there? Quite a lot
There was like
for
30 at
yeah,
least.
quite a bit of people
Yeah.
for that type of thing. Just camping out in a campground or in a park or a camp. I think it was a park, right?
It was a park right near the lake. There was like a campsite there, so they
Hmm.
had like cabins and tents and stuff set up. Yep.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So some of the people that we got to meet were like the Rollo McFlugel, the Tasting Anarchy podcast, which is basically they like literally the podcast is they taste wine and they talk about like libertarian and anarchist
Man,
stuff. This is pretty fucking
that
great.
sounds like my type of thing.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's Rebel with a Cause. I think it
Mhm.
was Rebel with a Cause, not without a cause, right? It's with a cause. I'm pretty sure it's with a cause, right?
Oh my god, I don't know.
I feel stupid. Sorry, man. I apologize. I can't remember. And then Peaceful Treason, which some of the people like I didn't even know. Like I had no idea. I only knew of. I never met them and before. But I only knew of Rollo and the Tasting Anarchy because of course they're the
Anna
ones that.
Adams was there too.
Oh yeah, Anna was there. Yeah,
Mhm.
had to talk to her for a little bit. Um, and then people from, and this isn't like I'm not gonna get banned or anything for this. This is literally like the name for them, the Fag Cast, Friends Against Government. That's the whole thing, yeah. So, which I mean, every time I hear that name, I want to laugh my balls off, literally balls off. Which I'm sure is
Not
good for
allowed.
you, right? But yeah, it was cool to meet all those people and kind of, you know,
It was like the internet come to life, you know.
pretty
I actually
much.
have real friends now.
Yeah, I know, right? We're always like just us two, like hanging out. That's it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's always an adventure with you anyway, so it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I have time to have
That's
friends
true.
anyway. I got to chop those potatoes, you know.
That is true. But yeah, so hopefully during the next month or two, we're gonna have some of those people come on the podcast so they can kind of introduce themselves to our audience, whatever. Because like I think it was, I think Peaceful Treason people kept saying, oh, what's his name? Jared, I think it was. He kept saying, you guys are the most popular people here.
And I'm like, well, that's a sad.
Because every single time, like when we first came in to introduce ourselves, everyone's like, we know who you are. Like, especially to her, like, we know who you are.
I was like, oh crap. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, again, it was great to meet all of you. In case any of you are listening or catch up on this. So yeah, it was great
Catch up on this.
Catch up on it.
What are we, a burger?
I know, right?
That was really lame. Sorry. I'm so sorry that I had to make him do that for you.
But yeah, like I was saying, it was great to meet all of you and to kind of talk about just really anything. I mean, maybe it was about libertarian and anarchist stuff.
We talked a lot about wine. The wine was really good, and there was a lot of people there who knew a lot about wine. Even our designated driver was like basically.
Well, he's one of the two of Tasting Anarchy. So
yeah. He knew his stuff, but I felt kind of bad because he couldn't drink the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, being a designated driver.
Well, yeah. And one thing that I got to mention about the whole thing was it was extremely hot. Like I don't know. I mean, I know I should expect that because I live in Texas, blah, blah, blah. I should already know this, blah, blah, blah. But we were just standing there like.
Well, everyone was that.
Hey,
everyone was doing that.
How are you?
Anna was in fucking long sleeve shirt and she had like fucking sweatpants. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, lady, you okay? You gonna die over there?
A lot of people were wearing, a lot of people started out wearing a lot of clothes and then they went and swam in the lake. And then by that time, then they were not wearing a lot of clothes. But yeah. That sounds weird. Sorry, guys.
Everyone just stripped up naked.
No, that's not what happened.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll have, like I was saying before, we'll have those guys, come on. Not all of at once because that'd just be a clusterfuck. But
yeah, we'll have each podcast individually come on our podcast.
Yeah.
As guests.
So that's gonna be fun. Hopefully, like I was saying, hopefully the next month or two, somewhere around in the near future, we
have a lot of guests lined up. Actually,
yeah, we
might tell you at the end. You have to stay till the end.
That's right.
Who the next guest is?
That's right.
A very special guest.
Very special. Like not in a good way, like in a bad way.
No, that's mean. He doesn't mean that.
Sorry. Anyway, so after all that, after all the Chillderburg stuff, again, thank you for your hospitality and like I was saying, the conversation, all that was really interesting, fun. But anyway, moving on to news.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the news cycle now.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to, we just wanted to go and mention stuff about Chillderburg because it's actually actually happening in our lives. So it's interesting because it would be interesting if all those people lived near us so we could do more events. Although apparently the people from Tasting Anarchy live in DFW and we never knew that because we're dumb. So now we should be going to them. Is it monthly or weekly meetups?
I think it's monthly. Right? Yeah.
You know what's sad about that? We just pledged not to drink alcohol after today. And now we're going to be going to Tasting Anarchy meetups to drink alcohol. And we're going to be like, oh, we'll be drinking water.
It's not like we're going to be drinking like 10 things. We're going to drink like one.
That's true. I guess if we have one drink a month, then that should not affect anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be wine because from my understanding, I'm pretty
Beer
sure.
is worse.
Yeah, they're wine people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
So during the whole Chillderburg thing over the weekend, one of the videos that came out was that video of what's her name?
I
Kirsten?
think
Is it
it's
Kirsten or Kristen?
I think it's
Kirsten?
Kristen. Like
Okay.
we both said the two. It's gonna be one of them, right? Let's call her
Kirsten
Kay Gillibrand. There you go,
Kay
Kay.
Gillibrand trying to be relatable, and that was pretty cringe.
Yeah.
And it just kind of made me think like, well, basically what happened in the video, I don't feel like playing it because it would take too long to bring it up on the screen, and then also nobody who's listening to the audio could see what she's actually doing.
Right.
Maybe I should reenact it. She was dancing and then she sipped a little shot, even though you're supposed to down a shot when you get a shot. You're not supposed to just,
Yeah, you're supposed to, like she looked like a little like
yeah. And then she's like, gay rights.
yeah, gay rights. Come on.
And she was wearing a pride shirt or whatever. And you could tell that they probably had taken like at least, I don't know, like 50 takes for this Instagram story. Just makes me feel like these people are just so out of touch, especially with the, what is it, Beto going to the dentist? Like, what the hell is that?
Beto going to the dentist. What was the other one? Oh, Elizabeth Warren drinking a beer.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them are trying to copy AOC, you know, because AOC is like actually good at being relatable.
Yeah.
To some degree, you know, like I can watch her live streams and not feel like she's trying too hard.
Man, look at this bitch. How dare she try to relate to me? She's not one of me. I mean, she's kind of the same age.
She's not one of me.
Not, well, you know what I mean. But then, what was it with Kamala Harris with the Wakanda Forever thing? I'm like, okay, we get it. You've seen Black Panther too. Okay, cool. Good for you.
You know what? I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of glad I didn't see that one.
What about Mayor Pete with the paper bag? That also happened recently.
What happened?
He said like he tweeted something where he was drinking, I think it was wine or beer or something, and it was wrapped up. You know how they put it in a little skinny plastic paper bag, you know? And he's drinking with, I guess he was in a black neighborhood or something.
Wait, so he's drinking it out of a bag with the bottle in the bag?
Yeah.
Like a homeless
person.
Trying
to be hip and cool, you know?
So he's like a homeless person.
I guess.
Trying to hide the alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do that too. Like if you go to like a wine or any type, like a Total Wine store, where they put it in that little skinny bag, something like that. So, but yeah. So pretty much, you know, it's also funny too because then you think, well, I mean, Donald Trump, when we're going, it's always going to go back to Trump now because all these people, like, even if these people are going to not acknowledge it, I mean, come on, it's like, yeah, AOC, obviously after Trump, but it's like Trump. It's like obviously we know that Trump isn't one of us because obviously he was a TV star.
Well, yeah, but I feel like you either have it or you don't, you know? And most of these like traditional politicians, they're so out of touch that they can't relate to regular people. And then when they try, it just makes them look more like a robot.
Yeah, it's just like be yourself. It's like, okay, this is gonna.
It's like just be a human.
It's like here's a sports reference that she's not gonna get, but it's like, okay, two of the top NFL quarterbacks, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Hey, I know those names.
Hey, see, one of them is trying to relate to you, Peyton Manning. Hey, I eat Papa John just like you. I use State Farm Insurance too. And that one commercial, was it when he's like chicken parm tastes so good, that kind of thing. He's trying to relate to you. He's like, hey, see, this is me. I eat this stuff. But then Tom Brady's like, no, I have a Rolex. No, I have a really huge I live in a huge mansion. I'm married to a really rich model lady. He's not trying to relate to the guy that makes $50,000 a year. He's not stupid. He knows who he is. He knows he has so much money and he looks good. I'd rather
be like that because then at least you're being authentic.
Right. He's not. I mean, and for all I know, maybe Peyton Manning does all that stuff. I'm sure he does. But I mean, come on. One of them has all these endorsement deals and is trying to be like, see, I do this stuff too. It's like, okay, well, good for you. Can you throw a football? Great. That's
kind of how I feel about, I mean, well, with the politics thing, I know it's, a popularity contest at this point, but I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're just like, how can I be relatable? But then they try too hard and then it ends up being like
And and
Cringe.
and I don't know how this is gonna sound. So this is gonna sound probably really bad. But like I haven't seen Joe Biden try to do any of this stuff. As bad as of a candidate he is, I haven't seen him be like, "I'm one of
What,
you."
you want him to like
No,
stand in his
but
kitchen and like
yeah,
start downing
yeah, but
some whiskey or
he's
something?
he's not doing that. You know, he's not being like, "See, I drink beer just like you." It's like, okay, great. What are you gonna bring to the country, if anything? You know, instead of being like, "See, Charlottesville is bad." Oh, really? Wow, thanks. I really didn't
Yeah,
know
his
that.
presidential video, like the announcement video,
Mm-hmm.
that was so vague.
He didn't even bring nothing new to the table. I wanted to bring this country together. Wow, really?
That's so
I never heard that
vague.
before.
You should make a presidential campaign ad that says like, I want to tear this country apart.
I hope this country can like destroy, like gets destroyed. You know what? We need to secede. Like every state, just be one of your, you know,
Govern your own
yeah,
state.
yeah. Like Michael Malice says.
Hey, you know what? I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Texas can hold its own weight.
I mean, how many times has Texas said that we're going to secede from the union?
And then it never happens.
Yeah.
Because of Houston and Austin.
In Dallas too.
Okay, maybe downtown Dallas. We can just throw out downtown Dallas. Everywhere else around us is okay.
Yeah. Oh. Some of the wine went.
There's not even that much in there.
I know. I don't know how it happened, but.
All right then.
Anyway.
Yeah, speaking of that, nobody for president 2020.
I just put the shirt on because I was like, I haven't worn this one in a while. So, nobody for president 2020.
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
Except for me. If I'm president, that's cool.
I don't know if I'd want you to be having the buttons for the nukes.
Oh, yeah. Can you trust Shane with the nukes? I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's not find out. Oh, yeah. So, okay. I also wrote down that Justin Amash? Is it Amash or Amash?
One of them. It's like Kirsten or Kirsten. Is it Amash?
All these people have weird names. Is that racist to say?
I mean, I have a weird name.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Anyway, so he leaves the Freedom Caucus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
After that whole tweet thread or whatever.
Hey, maybe he'll join the Libertarian Party Mises Caucus.
The Mises Caucus?
Yeah. King of the Cocks. Robbie the Fire Bernstein, King of the Cocks.
Nobody's going to get that unless they listen to Part of the Problem.
Amish. Yeah, I know, right? Justin Amish.
Justin Amash. Yeah. Yep, so he's left.
So what do you think this all means do you think...
Now, isn't it really obvious that he's going to run for president? Or does that mean that he's not? I don't know.
I mean, because I know I didn't read his whole thing, whatever, but I did read something along the lines of like he didn't want to be a distraction for that whole group or whatever. So that's why he wanted to leave, you know. But it's all because of the whole, you know, impeachment thing and what he said about the Russian collusion and all that stuff.
When he did the interview with CNN about this, though, he said that he's on good terms with all his colleagues and that he just left on his own accord. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe they don't care about that whole tweet thread. I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel like that was a kind of a bold move if you're not going to run for president, you know? Like, what was the point in that?
Well, I mean, there's people that I think they all make great points is that, you know, it's like, okay, just because he's a Republican doesn't mean he can't be for impeaching Trump, you know, mm-hmm. for the whole Mueller report thing. I mean, obviously, I don't know. And I know Dave Smith made that point too. It's like, okay, you want to impeach for this. Why don't you want to impeach it for other things that are like probably even worse than this? I don't know. But it's just, I don't know. It's just weird that I guess because this is so mainstream now, he kind of wants to put his name into it, you know, and be like, hey, I think this and I read the thing and, you know, I interpret it this way. So I don't care if my Republican colleague is going to, you know, call bullshit on me or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do me. And yeah, I have principles. You don't. I don't care if I'm, you know, Republican or Democrat. I'm just going to do how I feel. I mean, obviously, because
he kind of said that. He said in his statement or whatever in the last town hall, like with that caucus, he basically said like,
was it with that caucus? I thought it was just him.
Was it? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, so he just said that he's defending the Constitution, and that's that's why he decided to do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. To me, it doesn't make any sense unless you're running for president. I mean, Trump has impeachable offenses, but not for the Mueller report. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Does the LP need another GOP reject? So I know like Bill Weld came in to become a Libertarian Party. Now he's a Republican again. So
Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, see, it kind of talking about like Libertarian Party and how, you know, we're all in the two-party politics, whatever, and a third party is trying to rise up. I mean, and I guess the Libertarian Party is the third biggest party. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, in the last election, we like I act like it's my party.
Yeah, no, right.
Sorry, the Libertarian Party did, you know, come in third. I guess, you know, like
And-
third biggest.
And
voting.
you know, that's a big argument like for a Gary Johnson type because Gary Johnson got the most votes for Libertarian Party. But then you can look at that and also counter that and be like, well, look at who the Republicans and Democrats put forth.
Well,
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
That's kind of what I think, though. It's like you could either say he did a really good job, which I don't think he did. Just my opinion. But I feel like it's just the other candidates were so bad that they're like, well, I'll just vote for this guy because he seems reasonable compared to these people.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, that's probably the quintessential like reject vote, or what is it called? What's that term called? You know, when you don't vote for the two-party candidate, you're literally just voting for the other candidate. Oh God, what is it called?
Is there a term for that?
Yeah, there's a term for that, and I can't remember what it's called. Damn it. Now I'm going to think about this and get annoyed by it because I can't remember what the fucking term of it is.
You'll probably say it in the middle of another story. It's fine.
If anyone knows that term that I'm talking about, where you vote for a third-party candidate because you absolutely hate the other two, what is that called? There's a term for it. I know it's like something vote, and I can't remember what it is, and it's annoying
Something
me.
vote.
Yeah, it's something vote. Like it's like a protest vote.
Oh.
I think that's what it is. A protest vote. You're literally protesting the two-party system, I guess, because you don't like the other two candidates. So you're gonna protest vote. So you're gonna vote for a Libertarian Party or a Green Party or whoever. I mean, Ross Perot.
Or something.
Yeah, Ross Perot was another prime example. Ross Perot was independent, and I think he had the most votes of any independent candidate.
When?
So that was back in '92 when it was Clinton, Bush,
I just remember that.
and Perot. Yeah.
I was 1 year old.
So anyway, I still believe that Justin Amash is going to run for president. I still firmly believe that in the next 6 months. I did tweet that in 6 months, so I'm still going to say that. I still think it's going to happen because just some of the moves that he's been doing, it kind of just gears towards that. Because then he did that when he was, I think it was some talk where when they kept asking him, are you gonna run for president as a Libertarian candidate? And he wouldn't say yes or no. He would just kind of like,
Well, that just means yes.
He would just do
in
that,
my
politics speak. I don't know. I mean, if it, I'm open to it, but I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
But I mean,
dancing around the question.
But I mean, hey, I like him for in terms of other Congress people. He's definitely one of the better ones. I mean, he's not perfect, I don't think, but
I mean, if I might vote for him if I was voting. I don't know if I'm going to vote yet or not. But.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I was going to mention something about Congress because there's a whole thing right now where they were trying to pass this bill to increase their salary, and then they got some backlash, and now the Democrats have voted to postpone that.
I think I don't know if they voted for it, or if they just pulled the thing, the vote, or whatever.
Possibly. Well, anyway, they're not going to do it right now, and then a bunch of people were criticizing that. Well, not a bunch of people, just basically the people in Congress. So, what do you think about that? Voting yourself a pay raise.
It's weird
to match
because
standard of living, even though you're making $174,000 a year.
Yeah, and I mean to say that. Well, I mean, I need a raise because I'm just going to vote for it. Could you imagine if you had that power to vote your own raise? Everyone would just be voting their own raises every fucking day. Like, you know what? Do I want another raise? Yeah, I think I want another raise. Yeah, next week I'm gonna, instead of $2,000, I'm gonna get $4,000 because
my rent is too unbearable now. So we're gonna vote more money into our salary so that we can afford to go out to dinner every Sunday or something. I don't know.
And just because you live in DC it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter because, okay, you live in DC. That's where all the people go when they, become Congress people or senators or whatever, even though they're representing a state, a district, or how, whatever. Okay, that's fine. But you serve the people, or you're supposed to, at least. You're supposed to serve the interests of the people. Again, you're supposed to. And I mean, if you're making six figures, how am I going to look at that person and be like, you know what? I make $50,000, but that person up there makes 150,000. Yeah, that person totally has my self-interest at heart for sure. And yet they're going to vote for. And this isn't the first time this has happened. This isn't like out of nowhere. This never happens. This always happens. I
Has
need
it ever
more.
actually passed though? Because someone was saying it hasn't passed in 10 years or something.
I mean, they still make a lot more money than I do, and you for sure.
I mean,
but then I guess. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, okay, you live in DC, it's expensive there. Okay, well, why do you have to make 3 times more than I do? And that's because it's more expensive in DC. But again, when you let's look at it in terms of when you live in DC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much a lot of people there are government workers of some kind, and they're all making really good money. So you're going to tell me that you're not getting rich off of this, and yet you're going to criticize rich people?
Yeah, I know. It's like it's like pick one,
Like,
either you're rich, or because you can't criticize the rich if you can't relate to the people who are criticizing the rich if you are one of those people.
Yeah.
Like, basically the 1%,
right.
Even though those people wouldn't be the 1%, but still.
And okay, so the only way I would even think, okay, I'll maybe get behind this is if they 100% firmly said there's going to be term limits. So, for example, I get voted in.
What about the whole thing with the lobbying?
That's a whole other issue. I mean,
well, they were saying or some people were saying they could get behind that if they would limit the terms, the term limit, right? And then they would also prohibit lobbying after their term.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can understand that too, because lobbying has definitely hurt politics.
It's basically just corporatism. That's how corporatism happens, lobbying, right?
Yeah.
So.
And then corporatism goes to we hate capitalism, and it's just a whole other fucking thing.
Yeah. Then it becomes like a whole other thing. I saw this dumb video today, by the way, where some woman was saying that capitalism needs families to work, so we need to deconstruct the family so that all children and women are not bound to their patriarchal men, so they can get paid for their labor. And I'm like, is that an advocate for child labor then? I don't know what's going on here.
Everyone needs to work. I mean, shit, who cares? When you get born, I guess that newborn baby needs to start digging up in those fields.
Okay.
Give her that baby a shovel.
Oh my God. And not for a sandbox.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, but what I was going to say earlier was, if you're going to complain about living in DC, there are areas that are close to DC that you could technically live outside DC and get cheaper rent. Because I have friends who live in Virginia, and it's not as expensive as living in DC, and it's only like a 20 or 30-minute drive, or like a couple train stops out, you know. So there are options, but they want to live right there just for convenience.
And we're gonna also kind of look at it as, okay, so you know how when you become a government official, especially like a congressman or whatever, and once you leave, you get all the benefits for life. Well, what if you stop that? What if you say, okay, you can get these benefits while you're in here, but once you're out, like you're done, like no more. Yeah, I would totally be behind that too.
I would be okay with that also, because it's not like it's not like people are, how do I say this without, it's not like people are not going to hire you, because if you have that on your resume, come on.
Oh wow, you used to be a congressman? Holy shit. For my own district? Oh fuck yeah, I'll totally hire you. Why not?
Yeah, probably get some other good job with good benefits.
Exactly.
In the private sector or another government position. I don't
know. The title is public servant. Since when are servants supposed to make more than the people they serve?
Good point.
What are you advocating for? Slavery? No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Anyway, but yeah, basically, you're like I was saying before, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be in the office, whatever, serving our best interests at, for the district, for the town or whatever. And I mean, you see it all the time, well, the majority of the people want this, and yet they don't vote. They don't vote for it. They're like, oh,
That's a good point, because someone said you get what you pay for. So we need to pay them more so we can get what we paid for.
Yeah, pay them more. Yeah,
How's that going to change?
Yeah, because it didn't happen. It didn't work the first time. Let's keep doing it the second time, and the third time, and the fifth time, and the 200th time, whatever.
Someone said that if you don't pay for them, then they're just going to go behind our backs and get briberies and stuff.
But that happens anyway. Like,
I know, right?
What are they talking about? Like, briberies and all that stuff happens regardless, whether there's, one
salary increase.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
They're like, oh, I'm making $4,000 more a year. Now I won't take your bribe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you think, like, come on, really? Like, really? Like,
well, AOC agreed with that, and does that mean that she's agreeing with that if she doesn't get paid more, she's going to accept bribes?
You see, that whole thing with her when she was talking to that interviewer person saying that, I mean, it's like, what was she saying? Like, something about all the lines of like, it's a $4,500 raise. Like, that's not even a raise or something. I don't want to huge
fucking raise. I don't
want to put words in her mouth or misquote her or whatever. But I mean, let's just take that quote anyway. And like you were saying,
basically she was kind of trying to brush it off like it was nothing, like nothing's happening.
Yeah. And it's like, bitch, you were just talking about how the rich is getting richer, and that's all you complain about. And it's like, well, now you're one of them. Once you go into that system, you're one of them already. I mean, look at Trump. He's one of them. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. It's real, boogly woogly. You can't say that. Trump's one of them. I mean, he is.
Yeah, he was supposed to drain the swamp, but now he is part of this.
Part of the swamp. He's part of the problem. But I mean, and I was reading something that was really funny too about Trump, and basically Trump supporters too, is that, this whole how Trump isn't a gun, like he isn't like 100% Second Amendment supporter, and people are like, well, I'd rather have this guy, do that. It's like, so why do you need silencers? Who cares? Why do you need that gun? It's not going to hurt it's like,
that was conservative.
Yeah, it only starts with the silencers, but just you wait. They're not coming they're not coming for your guns. I can't talk. They're not coming for your guns.
They're not coming for your silencers?
No.
They're not coming for your guns.
I mean, it starts with the silencers, but before you know it, oh, you're just being a conspiracy theorist or whatever. Which I think, I don't know why I just like thought of this, but that whole thing where, I mean, I can live with no silencers and no suppressors on my weapons, but then it kind of goes with the Tulsi Gabbard thing. I mean, she's anti-war, that's great, but everything else is bad. Can I take one and the other?
That's the thing, right? I wouldn't vote for her just because of that.
Right. Yeah, take my silencers, MAGA daddy. Exactly. And I know there are some people who do like Trump, and whenever he does something they don't like, they'll call him out. But for the most part, it's just, oh, I mean, look at Donald Trump is great. He does no wrong. It's like, you guys sound exactly the same as the Obama people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you either accept bribes or you don't. More money isn't going to change it. Rich people are never satisfied. Exactly. You just keep throwing money at it. Schools need more money. Okay, here's some more money. And then nothing changes. Like, America's education system is still the same way it was, so.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things that are messed up, but still. Like, remember, there's a YouTube channel called ADV China, run by Lawai86, right?
Yep, Lawai86 and Serpent
Yes. So they're like a pair of foreigners who live in China, and they like went around traveling through China and also a couple of neighboring countries. And I think we've done interviews with both of them, so you could check that out on our channel, but on our YouTube channel. But so they did a video recently saying like that people who are from America complain about America too much.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say I'm not complaining. I do like this country, but
well, I mean, but also you have to think of it too, is that you're supposed to complain about the country you live in because you want to see it be the best that it can possibly be. And I understand, like, I completely get where they're coming from. It's like, okay, you're complaining about this, but then I see this in other countries. It's like, it's way worse over here than it is
Yeah.
there.
And I
You
don't,
know,
that's the thing where I'm like, because some people are like, oh my God, the political corruption is so bad here, whatever. But it's like, have you ever seen other countries' political
hmm
corruption?
yeah,
Like, it's way worse. It can get worse.
yeah.
So
And
I guess in that aspect, I'm kind of thankful that we don't live in a third world country.
yeah.
So
And it's also kind of like, you know, they used to live here in America or South Africa, you know, where Seamilk and Winston lived. And well, actually now they live in America, you know, as of now. But they lived in China for what, 10, 15, 20 years or so,
mhm.
for a long time, basically. And then their whole like vision of how everything was supposed to be is now different. So now they have a whole completely different aspect
Yeah, when you live
on,
outside
yeah.
the country, then you get a different aspect on your own
Mhm.
country.
Yeah. So,
Makes you appreciate it more, probably,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
not appreciate the things that are bad about it too.
Because that was something they were talking about is how Americans,
Don't have any nationalism anymore, or it's declining
well,
compared
they
to
weren't
other
even,
countries.
well, they were, yeah, they was talking about nationalism, but they weren't even saying it in like, you know, we're nationalists and, you know, we need to,
Yeah,
you
they
know what I
said
mean?
that they're not necessarily nationalists, but
Hmm.
the one thing that China does very well is they're always, China first,
Yeah.
which is
America
basically
first.
kind of what, Donald Trump ran on.
Yeah.
America first.
Hmm.
So,
But I don't, I just think it's healthy to, you know, criticize your own government because if you can't even
mhm.
criticize your own
Well,
government in
that's
your
what
own
they were
country,
saying about
yeah,
China.
yeah. Like you can't even do that because they, you know, also talking, you know, since we're on them, they just did videos on Tiananmen Square, and you can't even talk about that there. You're not
Yeah,
even,
you're
you
not
can't
even
even
allowed
mention
to
it. Yeah.
mention it.
And so, and I remember they were saying, well, once we release these videos, we're pretty much probably never going to go to China ever again now. I
Yeah,
would
because
think.
they
Yeah.
could get like arrested or something for that.
Hmm.
And that kind of reminded me when they were talking about that of the censorship of where you're not allowed to talk about that certain thing that happened in Germany with the Jewish people before.
Right.
Try not to get demonetized, even though I already sweared. So I guess.
Well, you know what's funny? Swearing is probably okay, but then mentioning events or people's names is like the worst thing that you can possibly
Yeah.
do now.
If
It's
we're
like,
never gonna
okay.
talk about it, then how would how are we gonna inform the
Hmm.
later generations of it so it doesn't happen again?
Yeah.
It's the same thing of what they were talking about with Tiananmen Square. If the Chinese people never talk about it to the younger generations, then it could happen again.
Right.
If they're gonna erase it from history, it's
Yep.
dangerous. There's got to be some sort of balance of you know being okay with your country and also being able to criticize your country.
Yeah. So next topic.
Oh, the next stuff is just weird stuff.
Oh,
So, yeah, you heard that
miss.
Mr. Sorry. I mean, I guess it could be Miss. I don't
How
know.
dare you?
Trudeau
Today.
is going to ban plastics,
Just all plastic in general?
single use plastics,
Jeez.
including straws, plastic cutlery like forks and knives and spoons,
Mhm.
and plastic bags.
Okay, so when I go to a restaurant and I'm out and I'm like wanting to go, am I just gonna take a metal spoon and fork with me now? Like what am I gonna eat with? My hands? Like what the fuck? What am I in fucking Philippines or something?
Hey, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna make paper forks.
Oh god. Yeah, that's gonna go great. You see how the straws are, the paper straws, how they like dissolve like little by little? Yeah,
Yeah,
the fork's gonna go great. Yeah, I can't wait to eat with a paper fork. This is gonna be great.
we don't have to go to Canada.
Yeah, I know, right? Probably gonna happen here too.
I mean, it's already happening in California
Of course, it's
to
happening
some
in
degree.
California, of course.
I saw a couple people post. I think it was either on Twitter or Instagram. They were like, "I'm really thankful that they banned straws in California because it's nice to see people caring about the environment." I'm like, That's what you're gonna go after?
Yeah, because I
Straws?
bet that same person never ever was like, man, I wish I had a straw to drink this drink. It's so much easier.
Yeah, and I mean, like, isn't you flying to California on an airplane like worse than using a straw for the environment?
Hey, you gotta get to
Because you're
Santa
using
Monica.
fossil fuels?
You gotta get to Palo Alto
I don't know where that
or
is.
wherever the hell these
They were.
vacation
It was
spots
one of
are.
those hippie people who were going on a retreat. It was like a nudist
Nudist
retreat.
treat. What are they? A
Nudist
55-year-old
retreat.
ugly dude or something?
I don't know. I don't really want to look it up.
Yeah. So yeah, Canada's gonna be blah. Gonna be see, I can't even talk now. They're gonna be banning stuff. So plastic straws, because that's what we need to do. We need to ban these plastic straws.
Not just the straws, also the bags.
Oh, the
Plastic bags.
God, I
Plastic
keep saying
bags.
plastic.
At least you didn't say plastic.
Plastic.
Plastic bags.
Man, we're super Asian. Man, why are they banning these plastic bags?
Bags? There's no R or L in bags.
Hey, there's no R in water.
We're not from New Jersey.
Oh. You call yourself a Korean and you don't even carry around your own steel chopsticks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but you
Sorry.
can't even use them. You say they
You
suck.
can't use them either.
I can't use them.
They're really hard to use.
It goes from like easy with the wood, the really like the disposable.
Disposable wood ones are the easiest to use, and then the
Yeah.
plastic ones are all right. I mean, we have plastic ones at home, so I'm used to using those. But then
Mhm.
the metal ones are like expert level.
I guess the Koreans
Try
are
to
super
eat
good
ice
at
cream
that.
with a metal chopsticks.
Ice cream.
Yeah, we already did that.
Anyway.
All right, so this is our last thing that
Well,
we're
I
going to
have
mention.
one more thing after that.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have something. Well, what do you think about Amy Schumer fans are divided over hiking pic in hospital underwear and bra with no pants? So she basically went on a hike with her newborn baby, naked, well, in her underwear. And even her fans are like, well, I don't know about this one. Like, I'm not sure if this is supposed to show real motherhood or what. Because, I mean, how many people actually go hiking in their underwear?
Well, from what I read, they were split. Like some people were saying, "Yeah, this is great. I'm happy you're doing this. You're showing your true self and all that stuff." And then other people were like, "Come on, why are you being a mom for? Why don't you? I want to see some stand up."
So people were mad that she's a mom?
I don't know. It's like people were divided over the dumbest stuff. It's like, wow, Amy Schumer's a mom. Good for her. But why are we complaining about that? Like, what are they actually complaining about?
I don't know. I guess I feel like a lot of people who are complaining about it probably aren't fans, but this article from Page 6 was talking about they are her fans.
Put some decent
So, I
clothes
don't
on
know.
and grow up. What?
Yep. Yeah, I mean I kind of understand like the pumping breast milk one. That one's makes sense cuz new mom or whatever, but why would you want to go outside in your underwear? Like, how is that supposed to be normal? Like, how can anyone relate to that?
I mean, Amy Schumer is herself, I mean,
Is that supposed to be funny?
really,
Like, is that a joke?
she's very true to herself, and she loves her own skin, and all that stuff. So,
If you loved yourself, you would take care of yourself better. Just saying.
I mean, she did just give birth. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but it's not like she was like in shape before that. If you really care about your kid, you should try to at least be somewhat healthy before you conceive. If you're planning to have a kid,
it's true. But I mean, hey, more things for people to be divided for no reason, basically.
Yep.
It's either put some more clothes on or yeah, you go, girl. It's like she's a mom. I'm sure she could give a flying fuck what people think right now. She's a mom. All she has to care about is her kid and the husband. That's it.
Although if that happened to me and I look like that or whatever, I feel like the backlash would somewhat get to me.
Probably.
Especially if you have postpartum depression. It would get to me probably. Not a smart idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to talk about net neutrality?
Yeah, the last thing that we're going to talk about is that June 11th, which is today, as right now, today, June 11th, Net neutrality. Remember today? So someone tweeted this. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the death of the internet. Marked the occasion with a joke about how it cost 7 cents to send a tweet. Because remember how everyone was doing that, like, remember the internet's gonna be so slow that you're gonna tweet one word at, that whole thing, and then that little
Yeah, we're gonna have to pay like $5 a minute for internet or something.
right. And so this guy is kind of going through all the tweets that people did about net neutrality. Of course, Bernie Sanders had one. Glad had one, because that's exactly what they're calling, that they need to talk about is the internet, for gay people. The ACLU, everyone's favorite YouTube movie reviewer, Chris Stuckman, showing a leaked image of Ajit Pai after the Net Neutrality Act. And it's Palpatine from Star Wars, because, oh, he's evil. Something bad's going to happen. And yet nothing really happened. What?
Didn't someone, I don't remember who tweeted it out, but I remember back when it was going to be implemented, or maybe like a year, like between that year when it was going to be implemented, someone was saying that it was racist.
I mean, whoever said that, that's not surprising.
They said it would affect people of color more than.
It would affect people of color.
I don't
really?
know why, though.
Like, it's not going to just affect everyone. It's mainly going to affect the people of color. But who doesn't have internet nowadays, unless you're like super poor, or you just don't, you don't care, Alyssa Milano, of course, tweeted something about it. I'm trying to find.
Are there any weird ones?
Man accused of threatening to kill congressman over net neutrality, so people are resorting to violence. Repealing net neutrality is a direct threat to reproductive freedom. I don't know how. Without it, access to information about how to obtain an abortion or other repro health services could be compromised.
I swear they can make anything about the right to an abortion nowadays.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
And then
spaghetti sauce, probably.
Yeah. Right. Anthony Padilla, which I know you tweeted, you quoted, or you pictured a tweet of his before. He said, every social media YouTuber's income after today's decision to gut net neutrality, and it's a picture of a check, and it just shows 9 cents. I guess I don't know.
Are they saying that people won't be able to load videos after net neutrality?
Yeah, they're basically saying that once net neutrality is implemented, YouTube's going to cease to ever exist, and internet's going to be completely gone. You're going to have to subscribe to like a Netflix or a Hulu account.
Do you remember when that was happening? There was all these people like tweeting, like, call your congressman and tell them to stop.
A whole bunch of YouTubers that I'm sure all of us know and love were talking about how net neutrality is going to ruin everything.
Yep, I remember that. Me and you were like one of the only people.
Yeah.
Who were saying everybody is overreacting.
Oh my God. That was like a prime example. Prime example. Like, literally name any YouTuber that we all know, like us, that we tweet at, and I'm sure people who are listening or in the chat, I'm sure you can name any YouTuber that you can name right now that we know, and I guarantee you I know, because I can name a couple right now. No, I'm going to. I don't care. Chris Reagan did. Okay. Lacey Green did. I guess that's not really surprising because she's more of a left wing, so of course she's gonna say that. Who else? See, and that's
I'm not gonna say any names. I don't want to accuse people of being.
I'm not accusing them. I'm just saying this is what they said. They overreacted, and then nothing happened.
Basically everyone.
Yeah, basically everyone. So,
I mean, I can sort of understand, because they're probably like scared of change because they are used to being demonetized and all that other shit that happens on YouTube. So they're scared of what happens with the internet.
Guess what? You're being demonetized anyway. Like, yeah. So what's the problem?
Well, that was before the adpocalypse, I think.
Yeah.
And like another thing that I was gonna say is that they actually had found, I can't remember the study that did it, but internet prices went down after net neutrality. So.
Because it creates competition, and that means when there's more competition, that means people are gonna be like, I want more customers. They're going over there because it's cheaper. Well, guess what? I'm gonna make this stuff over here cheaper because we need business. Okay? Like, it's not that hard. Like, it was so funny, like, seeing these people back in the day when all this net neutrality stuff was happening, and everyone was flipping out like, I can't believe you need to call your Philip DeFranco, another one. Net neutrality is gonna ruin Please save the internet. That was the whole thing. Save the internet.
Yeah, save the internet.
Save the internet, please. Oh, and by the way, Philip DeFranco apparently is alt-right, according to the New York Times. But that's a whole other story. I mean, really? Philip DeFranco, really?
This is the Shane that we need.
You know what's funny, too, about the whole New York Times article? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that everyone talks about how, white supremacists and alt-right and all that. Why wasn't Richard Spencer mentioned in that? Oh, that's right, because he's a goat. Like he's a lamb for these people. Because anytime the left needs someone to talk about shit when it comes to the alt-right, they just go to Richard Spencer. And yeah, there you go. That's all you need.
He's a goat.
You know what I mean? Like
greatest of all time.
He's a scapegoat for these people. That's what I meant to say, scapegoat, not greatest of all time. Oh my god! But do you guys know what I'm talking about? When this whole net neutrality thing was happening, and everyone was talking.
Isn't he like? Some people said that he's like a CIA.
Oh, guess who else was saying? Now that we mention it, guess who else was saying bad stuff about net neutrality? I was just talking about him, Richard Spencer. We need to save the internet. I guess everyone who was talking shit about net neutrality is all aligned with Richard Spencer now. Is that the only time you guys are ever gonna agree on anything?
Except for when it comes to climate change, because he's a big believer in climate change and all that.
And doesn't he support universal basic income too?
Yep, and universal health care too.
Like, isn't that crazy? It's crazy. All those people, I named 4.
There were more, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Because I remember all that stuff happening, and I was just like, these people are like you were saying, they're overreacting. And maybe their complaining was like, I understand where they're coming from, because that's like
emotional
the whole
reaction.
Yeah, that's their whole livelihood, is they're on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
They do videos for a living. They could create content. So I get it, but it's like you're only doing that because. And it's weird too, talking about the FCC. I mean, of all things that I'm trying to I'm not even defending them. I'm just saying that the overreaction was crazy,
mm-hmm.
Because I remember when we were listening to Part of the Problem, he was like, everybody's overreacting about this. That was like 2 years ago.
Yep, that was when we first got together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny too. Some people will probably say, yeah, but if we didn't have net neutrality, we wouldn't be getting demonetized right now. Well, wasn't demonetization happening even while net neutrality was around? So what the fuck are you talking about?
Good job.
Are we done?
Why are you looking at me like that? Are we done? Please say I'm done. No, there's one more thing we have to talk about.
Oh, okay.
It's not that important to other people, but we have to say it publicly so that we are forced to do it. We're going on another Whole30, but it's actually going to be like a Whole30 that extends until September.
Mm-hmm.
So that means no alcohol or sugar. So I'm probably going to be super cranky on Twitter. So everyone
loves cranky Nico
on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was already having cravings, and I'm like, that's how you know. That's how you know you're bad, because when you start having cravings for bad food, that's how you know you're messed up. So. Oh, and we're gonna announce our guest for next week.
Like, they're okay with this, or I guess we've already pinned it down, right?
Yeah, unless something changes.
Mm-hmm.
But it is gonna happen eventually, even if the date changes. But Josie, or better known as the Redhead Libertarian, will be joining us for our next podcast.
Yep. That's right.
And we'll let you know if anything else changes with that. But we did already confirm the date, so it should be okay.
I don't know why I'm just thinking this, but that whole me naming names about the net neutrality thing reminded me of Kevin Brennan when he names names for him. He complains like, fuck Gary Goldman.
No one's gonna understand that reference.
I don't know. That's just me though.
Median world. All right.
Anyway.
We have to go to bed now because it's past our bedtime.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Just subscribe to everything.
Mm-hmm. And
subscribe to our BitChute.
Our BitChute, yeah. You can donate to our
Stop
PayPal.
leaving mean comments on our stuff.
Now they're gonna leave mean comments on our stuff now because you said that. You can also donate to our PayPal if you like our work, you like our videos or podcasts. Podcasts. Oh my god, I can't.
If you like our podcasts.
Yeah. Hey, Loudwire. Hey, what's going on, man? You just missed it. It's over. Almost.
Yeah, we talked about you too.
Yeah, you missed it. We were talking so much crap about you, man.
No, we weren't talking crap about you, but we did talk about you. So.
I did talk crap about some people, but you know they deserve it.
You.
They deserved it because they were overreacting over nothing. Well, maybe not nothing, but I mean, come on, nothing happened.
Well, how do you know? You don't know if he was talking about it before, because that was before we knew who he was.
Yeah, because he was going to talk about something in America while he was living in China.
Who knows? The internet is basically,
well, yeah,
in the United States.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway.
But yeah, so
we have to go now.
Yeah, like I was saying, donate to our PayPal, and you can also get donate for like Bitcoin. We have all the Bitcoin stuff down there.
Oh yeah, now we're real libertarian.
Yeah, now we
got our Bitcoin stuff up.
So yeah, but anyway, thank you so much again for everyone that joined us, and yeah, we will see you in the next one.
Hopefully with the Red-Headed Libertarian.